Hey there, I'm Julie, and we're celebrating Griffith Park through crochet as part of the Autry Museum's exhibition, Investigating Griffith Park. Today I'm demonstrating how to crochet a sulfur butterfly like Queen Alexandra's or the California dogface. Both species have been historically or currently identified in Griffith Park. If you'd like to crochet a butterfly, follow along with the video and you can pause and replay it. Or you can reference the written pattern if you're finding it tricky. Once you've completed the butterfly, send it to us and we'll hang it up in the exhibition. We'll share information about where to send the crocheted pieces at the end of this video. In this pattern, we are going to use all of the basic crochet stitches from the shortest to the tallest. You'll learn all these stitches after the short, sweet butterfly pattern. To make the butterfly, we'll be starting with the body, and then we'll work the wings out from the body one at a time. To start, you'll need yarn and a crochet hook. I used a 3.5 millimeter or E hook with DK weight acrylic yarn. Acrylic yarn is important for this project as natural fibers may bring insects into the gallery. I'm using yellow and tan yarn. You'll also need a tapestry needle and scissors. Let's begin. Using the tan yarn, we're going to make a slip knot. Make a loop and draw the yarn through the loop like that, and then we'll chain 10. A chain stitch is where you draw the yarn through the loop like that. Once you've chained 10, we're going to skip the last chain stitch and make a slip stitch in the second chain from the hook. We'll make 2 more slip stitches. So we insert the hook, draw up a loop, and the top loop is drawn through the bottom loop. And for the third, now we'll make 2 single crochets. So insert the hook, draw up a loop. We have 2 loops on the hook, and we yarn over and draw through both loops. We'll do that again. Now we need to make 2 half double crochets. So yarn over, go into the next chain stitch, draw up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops. We'll do another one. The next stitch is another single crochet. And the last one is a slip stitch. Now we fasten off. And there's the body of the butterfly. So you'll cut the tails short so that they become the antennas of the butterfly. You can tie a knot in each one of these. And then we'll begin the wings. Now we'll turn the body over, and we're going to be working in the second to last stitch that we made. The last stitch we made was a slip stitch. This is the back side of it, remember? And the stitch before that was a single crochet. We're going to work in the front loop only, which means it's the loop that's closest to us. So if we turn this so we can see the 2 loops, it looks like a V on its side there. We're using the arm of the V, like the letter V, that's closest to us right there. So we're just going to draw up some yarn, a loop of yarn through that front loop of the V. like that. Now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we're going to work only in the front loop here and make double crochets for the next 3 stitches. So front loop only, draw up a loop. We have 3 loops, yarn over and draw through 2 loops, yarn over and draw through 2 loops. We're going to do that 2 more times. Yarn over, go into the front loop only, draw up a loop so that we have 1, 2, 3 loops, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, and we're going to do another one. Yarn over, go into the front loop only, draw up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2. Now we're going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch, and that is where you yarn over. We're still going in the front loop only. Draw up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, and go through 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to chain 3. We're going to turn, and we'll put another double crochet in the same place where this chain 3 begins. So yarn over. This time we go through both loops. Draw up a loop, 3 loops, draw through 2, and yarn over, draw through 2. And we're going to do 3 more double crochets in the next 3 stitches. So yarn over, go into the stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, and onward for the next 3 stitches, 2 in each one. And in the last stitch, we're only going to put 1 double crochet. So here's 2, and actually the last stitch is chain 2, so it's the top chain that we're working in this time. It's not going to look exactly like the others. So yarn over, go into that top chain. Again, it's so fiddly. It's just the way it is sometimes. Drop a loop, 3 loops, and tighten there. So that's the end of the second row. For row 3, we're on the back side of the butterfly again. Move this tail out of the way, and we'll chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to make the tallest stitch that there is. We're going to yarn over 3 times, go into the next stitch, and draw up a loop. And there should be 5 loops on your hook. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over and draw through 2, and yarn over and draw through 2. So that's 4 times we yarn over and draw through 2. After that, we're going to make a treble crochet in the next stitch. That's the second tallest stitch that we'll use. So we'll yarn over twice, go into the next stitch, and draw up a loop. We have 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over and draw through 2. So that's 3 times that you do it. The next stitch is a double crochet. So we yarn over once, go into the next stitch and draw up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and draw through 2, yarn over and draw through 2. So that's 2 times. You can see we're decreasing in the height of the stitch from the second one to the third one to the fourth one. Now, we're going to make a slip stitch all the way down here. So it's not in the usual place where a stitch would be. We're actually going in between these two stitches, inserting the hook, drawing up the yarn, and we're going to draw the top loop through the bottom loop. You can see the rest of the stitches sort of tilt to the side when I do that. Now we're going to chain 3, and double crochet in the next stitch. We're going to put 2 treble crochets in the stitch after that. So that was 2 yarn overs and 3 draw through 2s. So there's my second one. The stitch after that has 2 double crochets. And then we'll chain 2 and slip stitch in the top chain of this chain 3 from the row below. So draw up a loop. You have 2 loops. Draw the top loop through the bottom loop. Now we're going to cut the yarn and fasten off. Now we have most of that first wing made. Just one more row. Okay, so we're back on the front of the butterfly here, and we're going to use the tan yarn again. We'll insert the hook into the 4th stitch from the end. So this chain, the top chain of the chain 3 here, counts as 1 stitch, 2, 3, and 4. Insert the hook through and then draw the yarn to the front, just a loop. Now we're going to chain 1, and in the next stitch to the left, we'll make a slip stitch. So draw up a loop, top loop through the bottom loop, and we'll do that a second time. And then again in the top of this chain 3 here. Always with the chains, I have trouble putting the hook through. There we go. Draw up a loop, top loop through the bottom loop. Now in this little divot here, we're going to make a single crochet all the way down here where we had that slip stitch last row. And it's a long single crochet, or also called a spike stitch. You insert the hook all the way down there, and you're going to draw up a loop. It's going to be a little looser than a regular single crochet, and you draw that loop through both stitches there. So that's your spike stitch. Now, back to the top over here, we're going to do another single crochet. In the next stitch, we'll do 2 single crochets. In the next stitch, we do 2 half double crochets. So yarn over, go into the stitch, draw up a loop. We have 3 loops, yarn over, draw through all 3 loops. And another one. And in the top of this chain here, we're going to do a double crochet first. So So get into the top chain there, draw up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, and then we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and slip stitch also to that top chain. Draw the top loop through the bottom loop. We'll cut the yarn and draw the end through the loop, fasten off. So we'll have to position this a little bit. So we're done with that wing. Whoops, there we go. Now for the other wing, the left wing. For the left wing, we are making all the same rows, except the stitches are in the opposite order. So first we need to make sure that we're on the back side. So we're flipping this over. And we need our yellow yarn. Now 6 stitches down from the top. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it really should be just across from the bottom of the other wing. We insert our hook just into that front loop and draw the yarn through. Now we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2. We'll double crochet in the next 3 stitches and half double crochet in the stitch after that. So that's yarn over, front loop, draw up a loop, 3 loops, yarn over, draw through 2, yarn over, draw through 2, 2 more. Oops. And then the second to the top stitch there, which is the last stitch we're going to work in, we're doing a half double crochet. 3 loops, yarn over and draw through all 3. Now for row 2, we're going to chain 3, flip, return, and then we'll do 2 double crochets in the next 4 stitches. Oops, try that again. And in the last stitch, it's actually the top chain of a chain 3, but still we're going to put in 2 double crochet stitches in that top chain. That's 1 and 2. And turn. So this is the front of the butterfly. We're going to flip it over to the back and chain 3. Now we'll make 2 double crochets in the next stitch. In the next stitch, it's 2 treble crochets, so you yarn over twice. And another one in the same place. Oops. Okay, then it's 1 double crochet in the next stitch. We chain 3. And we're going to slip stitch after the next stitch, but between 2 bars. So we're going to insert the hook through the 2 bars, drop a loop, and pull the top loop through the bottom loop. So that's slip stitching between those 2 bars. Now we're going to double crochet in the next stitch. Treble crochet in the stitch after that. Now double treble crochet. So yarn over 3 times, go into the stitch and drop a loop. That's 5 loops on the hook, yarn over and draw through 2 at a time. And now we're going to chain downwards. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And slip stitch to the top of this, chain 3. And we'll fasten off. Now for row 4, we're flipping the piece back to the front again. And we're back to using tan yarn. So we'll drop a loop in the top of the chain 4 we just made, in the top chain there. So insert the hook. When it's a chain, I like to go under 2 strands of yarn instead of just 1. And just draw a loop through like that. Now we're going to chain 3, 2, 3, making sure that this yarn doesn't come through. And we're going to double crochet in the same stitch. Now in the next stitch, we're going to make 2 half double crochets. So yarn over, go into the stitch 3 loops, yarn over and draw through all 3 stitches, and we'll do that again. In the next stitch, it's 2 single crochets. In the same place, and then 1 single crochet in the next stitch. Now in the next one, we're going to make a single crochet. It's a long single crochet over where we did our slip stitch. So insert the hook between these 2 bars like that, drop a loop between the 2 bars, and pull it all the way up so your hook is where it normally would be for crocheting on this level. Yarn over and draw through both loops, like so. Now we're going to make a slip stitch in the top of the chain 3 here in that top chain. So we want to go under 2 strands, drop a loop, 2 loops, top loop through the bottom loop, and we'll do that 3 more times in the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Going to fasten off here. And now we're done with the crocheting part of the sulfur butterfly. First, go under at least 4 or 5 strands of yarn in one direction, skip a strand and return in the opposite direction. And then for the last pass, you go in the opposite direction again, skipping the first strand. Let me show you how that looks, what that looks like. So this end isn't very long, but I would still insert the needle like this under at least 4 or 5 strands. I think I'm going to go under 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 strands here. And I can actually insert the yarn into the eye of the needle after I've put the needle through, if I have a short end like that, and draw it through. And I'm going to do that again. And in the other direction to lock it in place. This is very short now. Undo one. And pull it through. And then you kind of just pull the stitches around to fix them how you'd like. Now, whenever possible, you do weave them in on the wrong side of the piece or the back side of it, whatever is going to be seen less. So again, another short strand of yarn, another short tail of yarn there, going to go under 4 or 5 or 6 strands of the same color and insert that tail into the eye of the needle, pull it through, and then skipping one, going in the opposite direction. And the last pass. And then we have the shortest little bit of yarn here left, but we'll snip that off. See, that's much cleaner there. And we have a couple more ends to do. So we'll go under 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6. It's a nice long tail. Skip the last strand there and work our way back. And skip that last one there. And work our way back again. Let's kind of pull it out a little bit. So that was 3 passes right there. I'll cut the end. We have this one and left. So we'll thread the needle. And this one's a little bit of a funny one. I kind of like to weave them back and forth. And then turn around and weave them the opposite way. And once or twice more in the opposite direction. Just see. Okay. Just don't want to make it too thick there. Great, now we'll flip it over. This is the right side of the work. We'll set them up just right. Thanks for watching, and check out the information at the end of the video to find out where to send your piece to have it included in the exhibition. Goodbye.